Go ahead.
We'll begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. I'll put the swearing in down a little bit. Let's go ahead with a roll call.
All right, Dustin Lane,
Here.
Andy Marker.
Here.
Byron Temple. And Gary Howard.
Here.
Pass, or we have a quorum.
Let's go with the swearing in. Anyone that would like to speak? Even swear you in.
Please stand and raise your right hand and take the oath of witness. And the lady chair, are you planning to speak at all today? No. Okay. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Thank you.
So how does this work if we have somebody that might want to swear in that is viewing today? We have Joe Sikos.
Okay. We'll have to improvise here a little bit. Looks like we don't have any video for Mr. Sikos. Do we have audio?
I will ask him now to unmute himself.
Hang on just a second. Craig Thurman with Redwood should be present. I'm just here to listen in.
Are you Greg Furman?
Can concur.
Okay. Greg is here. And Joe, if you're not planning on giving any testimony today, we don't need to worry about swearing you in. Is that correct, that you don't plan to testify today?
That is correct.
All right. Then we won't worry about that.
I am now muting you.
Goodbye, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Okay, approval of the minutes. I make a motion, we approve the minutes from March.
I second.
Dustin Lane,
Yes.
Andy Marker,
Yes.
Byron Temple,
Yes.
Gary Howard.
Yes.
Pass 4-0.
Okay. New business case 2025-208 PUD.
Buddy. I'm going to present the staff report for case number 2025-Z-08. Proposal, the petitioner, which was Joseph Sikos from Clark Quinn, Moses, Scott, and Grand LLP, is requesting an amendment to the Redwood PUD, which was ordinance 2025 or 2022-15, with specific regard to the language for floor space that was approved in 2022. The subject property is generally located south of Whiteland Road between US 31 and Maple Street in Whiteland, Indiana. The history of it: in 2006, the town of Whiteland Town Council rezoned the Dahlia property as C2 with commitments for a future mixed-use development. At the time of rezoning, this portion of the undeveloped property had an intent for carriage homes, senior housing, retail, and office use. The property had remained vacant since this 2006 rezoning. In February 2022, 73.1 acres of the Dahlia property, with a total acreage of over 100 acres, was proposed for rezoning to PUD, with the intent of the property being developed with single-family homes. At the November 2021 Plan Commission meeting, receiving a favorable recommendation to be sent to the town council. The council denied the rezoning 4-1, primarily due to lack of green space and walkability. In May 2022, town administration met with Redwood developers to discuss this potential development. Initial support for the project such as this was favorable due to the fact there are very limited apartment opportunities for those not interested in purchasing a home. In December of 2022, 40.45 acres were rezoned to a PUD from C2 to achieve two goals: to allow the creation of a Redwood apartment neighborhood a unique, high-quality, single-story multifamily development, and 2, to allow for future commercial development adjacent to the Redwood apartment neighborhood, allowing for continued commercial development at the Whiteland Road and US 31 node, which is consistent and complementary to the Redwood development. The second page of the staff report shows the adjacent land use and zoning. The area in yellow is the Redwood district that is currently under construction. To the north is R1 residential zoning. To the south is C2 commercial. To the west is part of the Dahlia PUD, but is Briar Creek Section 6. And to the east, that lines US 31, that is commercial. The petitioner had sent in 2 exhibits which show the floor change of what they're proposing. And then the next exhibit also shows the building that is in question here, which would, based off of the language, would be, I believe, building T. Greg may have a little more on that when he comes up to speak, but currently the proposal to change the floor space is only right now going to apply to one building, but with the change to the PUD, this could apply to multiple buildings down the road that haven't gone vertical. But the intent right now from the folks at Redwood, that this would only change the floor space on one of the buildings. The comments and findings, the petitioner is requesting an ordinance to amend the text of the Redwood at Whiteland PUD to read as follows. The floor area, the development shall consist of a mix of 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units. Standards for the units shall be as stated below. A 1-bedroom unit, minimum 909 square feet with 1 bathroom. 2-bedroom units, minimum of 1,100 square feet with 2 bathrooms, and a 3-bedroom unit with a minimum square footage of 1,595 square feet with 2 bathrooms. I've included the language for the development standards that were approved in the ordinance 2022-15, just to show the difference in the floor area. When this ordinance was passed, the floor area was only to be a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom units, and that was it. Redwood has the opportunity to offer a package that is fairly new to them. So they would like to modify the PUD language just for the floor area. So the public hearing, the petition for a PUD amendment requires a public hearing conducted by the Plan Commission. The petitioner has provided public notice in accordance with municipal code and Indiana State Code, including mailings to adjoining property owners, advertisement in the Johnson County Daily Journal, and a public notice sign placed at the project site. No public comment has been received at this time. The statutory criteria, Plan Commission and the legislative body shall pay reasonable regard to A, the comprehensive plan, B, the current conditions and character of current structures and uses in each district, C, the most desirable use for which the land in each district is adapted, D, the conservation of property values throughout the jurisdiction, and responsible development and growth. The Plan Commission's action. The Town of Whiteland Advisory Plan Commission, when considering a petition for zoning map amendment, acts as an advisory board to the Whiteland Town Council, and such as the role the commission may, 1, forward a favorable recommendation to the Town Council, 2, forward an unfavorable recommendation to the Town Council, 3, forward no recommendation to the Town Council, 4, continue the petition to the next regular meeting of the Plan Commission. The Plan Commission may attach conditions to any recommendations which are to become commitments of the application. The Whiteland Town Council make all final decisions regarding applications. The next steps, if the Plan Commission forwards a recommendation to the Town Council, the petition will be introduced and appropriate approval will be at the next regularly scheduled meeting of the council, which is August 12th, 2025. The staff's recommended motion. At the time of this report, the staff recommends the commission forward a favorable recommendation to the Town Council. I will take any specific questions that I can answer. If not, I will sidebar to Greg.
Okay, presently, it's just for all the units were going to be 2-bedroom no 3-bedroom or 1.
Correct. Correct. Everything.
Are they 1,100 square feet too, minimum?
I believe it was close to the square footage. I'd have to go back and look at the 2022-15 ordinance to see if the language spelled out.
I'm looking at it and it does say minimum floor area shall be 1,100 square.
Okay, so basically no changes there.
Yeah.
Except for adding 1 bedroom and 3-bedroom.
Yeah, it would just offer them the package to be able to utilize. Now, there is a little bit of a change based off of it, just because the 1-bedroom units does change the square footage where the minimum would be 909 versus the 1,100, which is spelled out currently in the ordinance. But that would be the only true deviation that you would see, just the 1-bedroom side of it. But that would be the only difference is.
There's no other changes.
No.
As I can see here, there's no other changes to how many buildings per.
No, none of that changes, just a different package that they have the opportunity to offer, 1-bedroom and 3 bedrooms, because they, when this was proposed as a ordinance, that was their item was 2-bedroom, 2-bath units, and that's what we agreed with. So that's the only change is to have the ability to offer 1-bedroom and 3-bedroom. Which does harbor, so the idea of the Redwood development is with this, you have some folks that may not necessarily want the 2-bedroom, that may just want to have the 1-bedroom, or folks, as we see in today's world, some folks want 2 extra bedrooms or something like this. So this gives an opportunity for Redwood to offer something outside of what they were held to. So it just allows a little more options within the district.
The only possible problem I see with that is the 3-bedroom, opening up for more school children and more problem with, have you heard anything on that, or if you see a problem?
I haven't, and with regards to this, currently with this only being 1 building, I don't foresee that. I know that I've got to think of the way the language, and Greg may be able to better say it. But Redwood's intent is for an empty nester style of people. It truly isn't geared towards, and I don't want to hold them accountable to say they're only looking at a certain demographic of folks that they're going to rent out to. But I don't think that this harbors any kind of negative impact from a school standpoint. We have currently proposed 500 plus single family homes in the next 3 years, which I think would have a much bigger direct impact than the ability to change 8 units that could potentially have 3 bedrooms.
How about parking for a 3-bedroom?
So the way that Redwood utilizes basically private drives for each unit. So it would still allow, you still have 4 vehicle spaces, I believe. Is that correct? 4 vehicle spaces per unit. So you would still be able to.
And that's keeping people, off the sidewalks and stuff too.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. And everything inside of Redwood is private. So they aren't dedicating any of the roads. The roadways are private. Their sidewalks, all of that stuff remains private to Redwood. So therefore, nothing gets dedicated and accepted to the town of Whiteland. They control and do all the maintenance within their development.
All the maintenance, lawn care and all that stuff is within the.
Yep. Everything is done in-house with Redwood. Outside of the only thing that was dedicated to the town of Whiteland was the sewer main that runs kind of around the west property line in between Briar Creek Section 6 and Redwood's development. That was the only thing that was dedicated. Outside of that, storm, water, roads, all that stuff is private, and we don't control any of the maintenance or repairs inside the development outside of the sewer main.
But if there becomes issues, then we can.
Certainly. Yeah, it's still regulated per the zoning regulations. So just because that stuff is private doesn't mean that they aren't regulated to being able to follow zoning regulations within the town. Like I said, what they proposed so far right now is 1 building. Obviously, if we change the language of the floor space, if they decide down the road, if they would like to do this with future buildings, currently, I think we're at 7 buildings that have broken ground. Nothing obviously has gone vertical yet, but 7 or 8 of the buildings have footers poured into them. We have a few plumbing and under slabs like that. that are going on right now. So we're pretty fresh into it. We've broken down all the buildings inside of Redwood into 6 pods, and roughly we're getting anywhere from 3 to 6 buildings per pod. And I've issued the footer permits for pods 1, 2, and 3, and I am going to issue the permits for pod 4. So that would leave the last 2 pods, which would be roughly anywhere from 8 to 10 buildings at that time that they could potentially modify. And I believe the building in question falls in with the last pod, pod 6. So like I said, it could alter what they're going to do in the future. This doesn't just say 1 building. This will just change the units for the floor space to allow them 1, 2, and 3 bedroom units.
Throughout all pods.
No, excuse me. No, because we've already issued 3 of them. So 3 of them I already have all the building permits through those 3 pods. So that's, don't quote me, I want to say 12 to 14 buildings right now that I'm currently under construction that I don't believe would deviate from what has been.
From the 2 bedrooms,
Yeah, and those are all 2 bedroom units.
but then the rest of the pods could be 1, 2, or 3 depending on.
Correct, yeah.
Any further questions? I will go ahead and open up the public hearing. Anyone online would like to speak, please put your name in the chat. You will be called to speak in the order in which your name appears in the chat. Would the petitioner like to speak?
Yes, sir.
Put your name and you're affiliated with and your address or whatever.
Good evening. Commission. Ian. Gail. Thank you. My name is Gregory Thurman, Vice President of Acquisition for Redwood Living. I was the applicant when we went through the initial community several years ago during COVID. And it's nice not to wear a mask in front of you. But to embellish the narrative a little bit, after 34 years of building our 2-bedroom units, we've listened to the grandmas that want a 1-bedroom, and we've listened to the families that want a home office. And all of that has changed since we went through this pandemic, however it's defined. But so we're about a year ago, we started modifying other communities that we were further along in to offer 1 and 3 bedroom units. And we want to bring that to the market here, especially since the baby boomer bubble is getting to the point where they are looking for 1-bedroom units, and the simplicity of how much they have to take care of. And then, like I said, the 3-bedroom units was a thought that was developed by our research and development because of the home office scenario where people can work from home. And not only do they want a guest room, but they want a dedicated office. So those 2 factors is why we're here today. We're not looking to change the entire project on every building at all. We're trying to see if the 1 and 3 bedrooms in the Indiana market's going to take off like it has in our Ohio and other markets in other states that we operate in. So it's a simple scenario, simple narrative, and we're just asking for a little flexibility to still build what Redwood builds. The exterior of the units will have very little change, unnoticeable by inches and things of that nature. Same finishes and everything else. So we're looking for a little help to allow our marketing to expand a little bit. That's,
Okay, thank you, sir.
yeah. Any questions? You already asked.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay. Is there anyone online or here that would like to speak for or against? I will go ahead and close the public hearing then. Any questions or comments?
No.
Any motions?
I'd make a motion that we give a favorable recommendation to 2025-Z-08,
Based on the findings of facts.
based on the findings of the facts. Yes, indeed.
I'll second that.
Justin Lean,
Yes.
Andy Marker,
Yes.
Byron Temple,
Yes.
Gary Howard.
Yes.
Pass 4-0.
Any old business, anything you want to discuss, Billy? Any exciting news? Okay. I make a motion, we adjourn then.
Second. Still gonna groundbreak on Culvers?